Welcome back to an evening of old-time radio. When we last let off, we had just learned the truth behind how one of the 6 Texas Rangers had become the Lone Ranger. We return now to the home of Thunder Martin.
That night, Tonto returned to the Hornblow Ranch. After turning his paint horse into the corral, the Lone Ranger's Indian friend rapped on the bunkhouse where Thunder Martin lived.
What in Tonto?
How, Thunder?
Well, come on in, doggone, I'm glad to see you. Sit down, Tonto. I want to tell you about a gent who came here looking for the Lone Ranger. He came here about noon. Said he had something mighty important to tell the Lone Ranger. He said it was a matter of life and death.
Oh, that's plenty strange.
He wouldn't tell me the message, and he didn't want to wait for you. So I told him the Lone Ranger was heading for Bryant's Scrap. He knew where that is and said that he'd go there.
How him look?
Well, he's a homely looking galoot with small eyes that shift around while he talks. He was wearing clothes that looked like they belonged to someone bigger.
I wonder why him want Lone Ranger.
Oh, a horse just stopped outside.
Hey, Thunder, are you there?
Yep, I'm a-coming. Well, it's the Western Union. How are you, Sparks?
All right.
You're a long way from town.
It's on account of this message, Thunder. It came over the wire tonight. It might be important. It's for the Lone Ranger.
Well, Tonto's the masked man's partner. Give him the message.
It just tells about someone who busted out of jail.
Let's see. Cavendish.
Yeah, Cavendish.
That's Butch Cavendish?
Him man who was here.
But
Do you
Tonto.
remember him? Do you tell him where Lone Ranger go?
Well, yeah?
Cavendish go there. Him last of bad gang and him kill Lone Ranger. Me try to catch him before it's too late.
It was mid-afternoon on the anniversary of the massacre in Bryant's Gap when the Lone Ranger and Dan guided their horses past high cliffs toward the canyon's entrance. The ground was littered with rocks of all sizes, some as large as a fair-sized house. When the horsemen came alongside a particularly big boulder that stood a few yards from the base of the cliff, the masked man drew rein.
Stop here, Dan.
Golly, this is rough country.
Hasn't changed a bit since that day so long ago.
And just ahead of us, there's a gap in the cliff. Is that the entrance to the canyon?
Yes, Dan.
Why are we stopping here? Isn't that where we're going?
Yes, we'll leave the horses here in the shade of the boulder. Easy.
Easy, steady boy.
Easy boy. Dan, there's the entrance to the cave.
Oh, is that where Tonto brought you? After the fight with Cavendish and his gang?
Yes, that's where I first put on a mask and became the Lone Ranger.
Is it far to where Dad is buried?
No, he's buried right at the entrance to the gap. We'll go there now.
The entrance to Bryant's Gap was about 50 yards wide and bounded by cliffs 100 feet or more in height. Masses of rock that had been broken from the cliffs by countless years of wind and storm were piled along the sides of the canyon. Near the western side of the entrance, there was a little plot of grassland. Here, Dan Reed saw 6 mounds of earth, each marked by a crudely fashioned cross.
Tonto and I carved the names in these crosses before we rode away from here, Dan.
Oh.
And the one on the left marks the resting place of the man who led us, Captain Reed.
My dad.
Yes, one of the finest, most courageous men who'd ever lived. Going to be just like him.
I want him to be. I want him to be proud of me.
He is, believe me, Dan. He's proud of you.
These others. Sam Cooper, Jim Bates.
Yeah, Jack Stacy, Joe Brandt, Texas Rangers.
This one, the 6 cross.
My name is on it, Dan.
Oh, yes, I see.
That's why Cavendish and his gang thought that we were all dead. They never knew that one Texas Ranger lived to become the Lone Ranger. Oh, Dan! A shot! Come here, keep down!
Moving at lightning speed, the Lone Ranger grabbed Dan's arm and leapt to the shelter of nearby rocks. But the masked man was none too soon.
Oh!
third shot brushed his
Keep
shoulder.
your head down!
Who's firing
I don't
at
know!
I didn't even see where the shots are coming from.
There's a man on top of the cliff on the far side!
You're hit.
Nothing, just a scratch!
Gosh, you seem determined to get us.
I'll return his fire.
Did you get him?
No, but I don't expect him there. He's in a position to fire down at us without showing much of himself.
Good thing this rock is plenty high.
Yes.
Who do you think he is?
No idea, Dan, but I'm going to find out. Here, take this gun. I've taught you to use it.
Yes, sir.
I'll leave my gun bell with you. There's plenty of ammunition.
But you...
I'll keep one. Listen carefully, Dan.
Yes, sir.
You're on the side of this rock with the gun and fire in the general direction of the opposite cliff.
Now?
Try it, but don't expose your head short. That's the way. Now fire. Good.
He fired back.
What I want. Maintain space gunfire to keep us attention. I'm going to the top of that cliff. I think I can reach it without being seen.
But show me, you're wounded.
Crash, keep firing!
The many boulders concealed the Lone Ranger as he circled wide and reached the cliff on the far side of the canyon's mouth. The cliff was difficult to climb and the masked man hampered by his wound, but finally he reached the top. It was 100 yards from the edge of the canyon, but 100 yards behind the gunman. He reached for the gun he'd stuck in his belt and gasped. His gun was gone.
It's killing that wall!
Though one-armed and dismayed, the Lone Ranger lost no time through indecision. He moved ahead cautiously and quickly, hoping that the unknown gunman wouldn't turn. The man was crouched behind a rock. He fired intermittently, and Dan Reed's response came like an echo. The Lone Ranger was within 50 yards of the attacker. The distance narrowed to 25 yards, then half of that. When the gunman paused to reload his weapon, it was then that the masked man spoke.
Drop that gun! What the? Cavendish! You! Here! I want you! I'll kill you!
The masked man charged, but Cavendish was ready. The two men, armed only with their fists, met face to face. Cavendish swung and missed. The Lone Ranger struck a hard blow. Cavendish snarled. The Lone Ranger was weak from loss of blood. His blows lacked their usual force. Cavendish, on the other hand, was tough and strong from years of hard prison labor. He knew all the foul tricks of rough and tumble fighting. He kicked and gouged. He clawed and bit. The two became locked and went down. The Lone Ranger's head struck a rock. He was half stunned. Cavendish secured a grip on his throat.
Glad my gun was empty. I'd rather kill you with my bare hands.
Weakened, only semi-conscious, the Lone Ranger's fighting heart would not admit defeat. He mustered his strength for a final mighty effort and wrenched free. He rolled away from Cavendish, then lay back, his head scant inches from the edge of the cliff. Cavendish leapt to his feet.
I'll get you. I'll strangle the life out of you. I'll square things.
The Lone Ranger saw the outlaw coming, arms extended, fingers reaching for a death grip. He thought,
My last chance. My life for his. All right, Cavendish. You.
The Lone Ranger could hardly realize that the fight had ended. He had acted instinctively to meet the attack by bending his knees to bring up his feet, and by grasping the outlaw's extended hands, which were reaching for his throat. Cavendish was lifted bodily by the Lone Ranger's boots against his stomach. He somersaulted over the masked man and over the edge of the cliff into the ravine. The Lone Ranger's strength gradually returned and his brain cleared. He made his way to the base of the cliff. He found the gun that had fallen from his belt, but then hurried to the entrance of Bryant's Gap. There he saw Cavendish lying on the ground. Dan Reed and Tonto at the outlaw's side.
Tonto!
Kimosabi. Miller and Cavendish come here. Me try hard. Try to catch him. Me too late.
Tonto arrived while you and the man were fighting on the cliff. We saw Cavendish fall.
Tonto, he's still alive?
But him dying, him not live long, hurt plenty bad. You masked troublemaker.
Cavendish, can you hear me?
I hear ya. You made trouble for me from the start. You smashed my gang.
Yes!
The Lone Ranger dropped to his knees beside the dying outlaw. He leaned forward so his face was close.
Cavendish, I'm going to remove my mask.
Don't bother.
I want you to die knowing the true identity of the man who smashed your gang.
No.
Do you remember me?
You, Reed. I saw you fall.
No, Cavendish, I did not fall, and I'm not dead.
I saw your great view. All 6 of the Rangers.
One Ranger did not die, Cavendish. One Ranger lived to avenge the others.
Beaten by you, my whole gang smashed by one lone
Texas
Yes,
Ranger.
Cavendish, one Lone Ranger.
I wish I could have died not knowing it. You. Oh.
Cavendish dead, Kimosabe.
Tonto, he was the last of that gang. Now we may feel free to take away the 6th cross and smooth the ground so only 5 mounds remain.
Golly, it's like the hands of fate.
What is, Dan?
You, Cavendish, the long years of smashing that gang, it all ends right here where it began.
No, Dan, it doesn't end here. We'll keep riding. I'll keep my mask and continue as an unknown man. There are still many outlaws in the West, men like Cavendish, who must be brought to justice.
I want to help. I've shown I can use a gun. May I have one of my own?
Yes, Dan, but when you're a man, there'll be a law and order in the West. In great cities like those in the East, there will always be bad men, but they'll be different from the kind we know. To combat them, you'll need weapons and strength and courage, but these must be backed by knowledge and education. To handle them intelligently, our great country will progress only so long as there are leaders. You and young people like you must educate yourself to be the leaders. Son, I want you to go to college, to study science and law, history, and the problems of government. I want you to learn the many things required so you'll be ready to take your place as a good citizen and carry on where we leave off.
I understand.
Knowing that you're in school, preparing for the future, I'll be content to continue helping others bring law and order to the West until you young men can take over.
I'll go to school, sir. I'll study hard.
In that case, Dan, I feel that I fully kept the pledge I made to your father so many years ago.
Pledge?
Find you. Prepare you for manhood.
I hope Dad knows.
I'm sure he does. Go over there, Dan. Go alone to the place where we left him sleeping. There you'll be close to him. I think you'll know that he and your mother are together, hand in hand as they watch you. They're saying, our son is good. Let us pray that he too will have a son who will carry on his name and make him proud.
Kimosabe, look at Dan, him kneel by grave.
He's close to his father, Tonto.
In that same place where you, me make friendship many years ago.
This is a good time to renew that friendship, that pledge.
Kimosabe, long as me live, long as you live, me ride with you.
Yes, Tonto. I couldn't carry on without you. As long as we ride, we'll travel together.
Though the Lone Ranger remains to be one of our most beloved heroes, he hasn't always been the sharpest knife in the drawer. In fact, there was this one time when the Lone Ranger and Tonto were camping in the desert. After they got their tent all set up, both men fell sound asleep. Some hours later, Tonto wakes the Lone Ranger and asks, "Kimosabe, look towards sky. What you see?" The Lone Ranger replies, "I see 1,000,000 stars." "What that tell you?" asked Tonto. The Lone Ranger pondered for a minute and then said, "Astronomically speaking, it tells me there are millions of galaxies. Time-wise, it's about 3:15 in the morning. Theologically, the Lord is all-powerful and we are small and insignificant. Meteorologically, it seems we will have a beautiful day tomorrow. What's it tell you, Tonto?" Tonto is silent for a moment and then says, "Kimosabe, you dum-dum, it tell me someone stole tent." The next day, the Lone Ranger and Tonto were riding in the canyon when suddenly they heard a distant pounding on horses' hooves. Confused, the two men turned around to see a tribe of 20 Native American warriors on horseback riding into the canyon. Not sure what to do, the Lone Ranger turned to his faithful companion and cried, "Tonto, we are surrounded. How are we possibly going to escape?" Tonto just looked at the Lone Ranger and asked, "What you mean we, white man?" Now, for your pleasure and entertainment, we roped Patrick Zabinski in for another musical piece. No, really, we had to rope him in to keep him from running off. So So under threat of having to be in our next production if he messes up, here is Patrick on the piano playing Shadows in Salt Creek by Kevin Olson. In the Christmas spirit, our final show brings us full circle back to our comical characters from the beginning of the show, Abbott and Costello.
The Grand Rapids Players welcome you to this presentation of the Abbott and Costello program. Tonight's show features the music of Ross Larson, Jim Cagle, and the songs of Connie Hain, along with special guest Andy Devine, and of course starring Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. Tonight's show is sponsored by A1 Drivers Training.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to drive the family Chevrolet. Hey, if you need to learn to drive where the snowing, not or raining, stop on down and see the folks at A1 Drivers Training.
Well, Costello, here it is Christmas Eve and you're late again. What kept you this time?
Well, I had to get the invitations printed for my party. Here, you want to read them?
Yeah, let me read it. Lou Costello invites you to a Christmas Eve party to be held at his home. B-A-P-O-B. Look, you mean RSVP.
No, I mean B-A-P-O-B. Bring a pound of butter.
Oh, by the way, are you going to have any mistletoe?
What?
Mistletoe. Haven't you ever kissed a girl under the mistletoe?
No, I always kiss them under the nose.
Costello, you drive me to distraction.
Nah, you drive me. I only got an A book.
All right, look, let's get back to the party tonight. I hope you remember to get souvenirs for everybody.
I did, Abbott. I'm having favors for the girls, and at midnight, I'm gonna turn the lights off.
Well, any favors for the men?
What do you call turning the lights off?
Oh, quiet. Have you arranged for the guests to play any games at the party?
Sure, we're gonna start off by playing pin the tail on the Hitler.
You mean pin the tail on the jackass?
That's what I said.
All right, look, are you going to play Santa Claus at the party?
Not me.
Well, why not?
I don't want to sit up all night and wait for myself.
Say, Andy Devine is our guest tonight. Do you think we could get him to play Santa Claus?
Yeah, he's my neighbor, Abbott.
Well, that's right. And he's the honorary mayor of Van Nuys. No matter how far he travels, he always keeps his seat in the mayor's chair.
Well, it's a neat trick if he can do it.
Oh, never mind that. Look, tell me, who are the people you invited tonight?
Oh, a whole lot of movie stars. When I invited Lana Turner, she kissed me.
Lana Turner kissed you?
The smoke ain't coming out of my ears for nothing.
All right, just a second. Why don't you invite the people on our program? That would be the real Christmas spirit. The spirit of brotherly love. Just close your eyes and think of everybody as a brother.
I'm trying.
Aww.
But I'm having a real hard time with Lana Turner.
Oh, stop it. Now look, go ahead. Invite some of the people to the party.
Okay. Oh, Connie Hames.
Hello, my fat little sugar man.
Oh, that voice. Say, Connie, I'm having a big Christmas party tonight, and I'd like you to come.
I'm sorry, but I can't, Mr. Costello. Freddie Rich has taken me to the bandbox.
Well, I took you to the bandbox 3 times.
I know, but Freddie takes me inside.
I don't know why I waste my time with her. I got a million girlfriends tearing their hair out waiting for me to call.
Well, why don't you call them?
Who wants bald-headed girls?
All right, forget the girls. Go ahead, invite Ken Niles. And don't make any nasty remarks. Try to be nice for once.
All right, don't worry. Hey, Ken.
Yeah, Lou.
Would you like to come to my Christmas party tonight?
What hamburger stand is doing the catering? How do you like that, fatty?
Fatty? Well, you're so skinny you'd have to swallow a walnut to keep your pants up. If you had hair on your chest, I'd use you for a pipe cleaner.
Wait a minute, Costello. Are you insinuating that I'm bony?
I wouldn't say you're bony, but you'd have a tough time talking your way out of the dog pound.
Well, Costello Niles certainly won't come to your party now.
And neither will my wife. She's going to my uncle's ranch with me.
As a guest or grazing?
Hey, I heard that remark, dark and handsome.
What do you mean, dark and handsome?
Well, if it's dark, then you're handsome.
Yeah, look who's talking. She takes ugly pills to improve her appearance.
Now look, Costello, will you quit that? Mrs. Niles works on a newspaper. She could write about your party.
Yes, I have a nose for the news.
Yep, with enough left over for the Herald Review and the Scenic Range.
That's some Christmas spirit, Costello. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Here Mrs. Niles is all dressed up and looks very charming. Can't you say something nice for a change?
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Niles. You do look lovely tonight. You look just like a doll.
Well, that's certainly the nicest thing you've ever said to me. What makes you think I look like a doll?
Your hair's pasted on.
Oh, I'll paste you.
Well, you did it again. Nobody's going to come to your party. Who can you ask now?
Botsford Twink the sound man will come. Hey, Bots!
Yes, Mr. Costello.
Botsford, at my Christmas party tonight, I'm going to tell the story of Santa Claus. And I want you to do the sound effects. Are you ready?
Ready, Mr. Costello.
All right, it's a cold night at the North Pole and we see Santa. Santa Claus, not Santa Anita.
All right, what happens after that, Costello?
Well, Santa Claus calls his reindeer. Here, Dancer and Prancer and Cupid and Donder.
Well, where's Blitzen?
Blitzen's Mitzen, the night is beautiful, the stars are up, and the moon is shining. Botsford, what's that?
Moonshine.
Get your sound effects right. Oh. The moon is shining down, the night is filled with gentle zephyrs. Zephyrs, not heifers.
Stop cowing the boy.
Well, he gave me a bump steer. All right, we'll continue. Santa Claus is all ready and he throws his bag into the sled.
Ouch!
Wrong bag.
Costello, just finish the story.
So, okay. But Sarah dashed across the rooftops into a house, and there he sees this beautiful girl. Shyly, she drops her eyes. Botsford, pick up those eyes.
Get on with it.
Girl sits on Santa's lap and he kisses her. Just then her husband walks in and sees what's going on and leaves.
Now, wait a minute. The husband walks in and sees Santa Claus kissing his wife. Doesn't he say anything?
What? Lose his presents?
This is a Christmas greeting to all Americans at home and overseas from several thousand men and women in the city of Minneapolis. From the men and women of Grand Rapids, Minneapolis, and all of Minnesota who are putting on this show. They send greetings and sincere thanks for your year-in, year-out loyalty to the Grand Rapids players, a loyalty that has made possible for them so many Merry Christmases in the past. Yes, for some of them, over 25 Christmases. Bud and Lou and all of us on the Abbott and Costello show join the men and women of Grand Rapids in saying thank you and a Merry Christmas. We'll hope you'll continue to have as much pleasure from the Grand Rapids players in the years to come as you have given to us in the years past, and we hope it continues for both of us. Merry Christmas.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dream.
Well, Costello, I see you're getting ready for your Christmas party. I hope some people come.
Don't worry, Abbott. This is going to be an exclusive party. Nobody gets in without an invitation.
Well, how does one get an invitation?
I got a guy giving them out on the street.
Did you hang your stockings over the fireplace?
No, I hung them up last year. Santa came down the chimney and then sent them to the laundry.
Well, the guests will be arriving soon. Why don't you finish decorating the Christmas tree?
I can't. The decorations keep falling off.
Well, why don't you try tying twine through the tree twigs?
You mean I should try tying twigs through the twine tree?
No, you should try tying twine through the tree twigs.
That's what I said. Tying twigs through the twine tree, tying twine through. Do you mind if I just use string?
Look, I hope you're taking care of the food for the party.
I'm going to serve ham sandwiches with musterol.
Musterol's for a cold.
Well, it's cold ham.
All right, what are you going to do about the drinks?
Same as last Christmas. Boy, the champagne flowed like water.
It tasted like water, too.
It was water.
Come in.
Hey, who's having the Christmas party?
I am.
Did you order 6 dozen eggs, 4 pounds of sugar, 5 pounds of butter, and 10 pounds of meat?
That's right.
Boy, you really believe in Santa Claus.
All right, look, let's get organized and start putting the gifts under the tree. Here's my present for Connie Haynes. What did you give her?
Oh, I bought her a corsage.
You mean corsage. A-G-E is pronounced age, as in corsage. Garage. Where did you get it?
From the man who comes to collect the garbage. Say, that must be Andy Devine. He promised to play Santa Claus tonight.
I'm only 2.5 years old.
Matilda, what are you doing here?
Say, Costello, that's the little girl who got lost on our program last week. How are you, Matilda?
I'm fine, Uncle Bud. Can I come to your Christmas party, Uncle Louie?
I can tell you in one word. Positively, no.
That's 2 words.
Well, you got a bargain.
That's a very nice Christmas tree. What a pretty shade of green.
You're looking at me. The Christmas tree is over there.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Shut it.
Can I help you, Uncle Louie?
Matilda, look out. What are you doing with that hammer? Drop it.
Not on my foot.
I'm only 3.5 years old.
You'd like to be 4, wouldn't you?
Don't be so harsh with the child, Costello. She just wants to help us.
That's right. I want to put up the Christmas balls.
Look out where you're walking.
Matilda, you stepped on the Christmas balls.
Did I break any?
Did you? 1, 2, 3, 4 balls.
I better take a walk.
Cabot, I can't stand this.
Oh, she's just a child. Listen, Matilda, when you went home last week, did you tell your mother all about Mr. Costello?
I talked about Uncle Louie all day.
You did?
Yes, and my mom could wash my mouth with soap.
This kid would make a perfect stranger.
Say, Costello, that must be Andy Devine all dressed up as Santa Claus. We wouldn't want Matilda to see him.
Yeah, that's right. Matilda, why don't you go in the kitchen and have yourself some cookies?
Can I have as many as I want?
Yeah, eat yourself into a stupor.
All right, Uncle Louie.
All right, go ahead, let Andy in. Open the door.
Hiya, fellas.
Hello, Andy.
Say, what kind of a costume is that, Andy?
Well, I got this red Santa Claus jacket on, but I'm waiting for my pants.
Are they at the cleaners?
No Mintac. My wife's wearing them.
Are you going to be carrying a heavy load tonight, Andy?
Nope, I'll be sober.
By the way, Andy, when you start giving out Christmas presents tonight, don't give me an electric bed warmer like you did last year.
Electric bed warmer? That was an electric toaster.
No wonder it kept popping up and kicking me out of bed.
By the way, Andy, do you think you can get down the chimney tonight?
Sure, bud, I'm very athletic. Watch me do a split.
Gee, pants and all.
Well, fellas, I better be going. See you later.
Look at me, Uncle Bart. I'm on top of the ladder. No hands.
Matilda, get away from that tree. Get down off that ladder.
Look out, Costello!
Ow! Abbott, look at the bump on my head. It's getting higher and higher. Hurry up. Get Washington on the phone.
How can Washington help with a bump on your head?
I want him to put a ceiling on it.
Connie Haynes and the Grand Rapids Players introduce a brand new song from the Reif Center's star-studded musical called Hit the Road to Dreamland.
Take you in the land of love.
Costello, you certainly planned some party. It's almost 12 o'clock and nobody showed up. Why don't you put Matilda to bed?
Okay, Abbott. Hey, Matilda!
1, 2, 3.
Matilda, are you spitting in the goldfish bowl?
No, but I'm getting close.
Come here! You gotta get to sleep.
Why don't you tell our bedtime story?
That's a good idea. Listen, Matilda, I'm gonna tell you about the time I was a bad little boy. My mother made me eat spinach because I had to have nitrates.
Why'd you have to have nitrates?
Because they were cheaper than the day rates. Now be quiet.
Costello, don't yell at her.
Uncle Louie, why don't you tell me the one about the farmer's daughter instead?
Well, I've never heard of such a story.
I did, and I'm only 3.5 years old.
Would you like some broken glass to play with?
Never mind. Matilda has to get some sleep. Maybe you'd better sing her a lullaby?
Okay, now listen, Matilda. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to.
Look, Uncle Louie's falling asleep.
Shh. Let's not disturb him.
You went on Christmas Eve to a 5-year-old boy, imagine. How did you get your clothes so muddy?
I was trying to pull a worm out of the ground.
And what happened?
The worm pulled first.
Now I'll go see who's at the door, and you go wash that dirty face of yours.
Why can't I just cover the dirt up with powder like you do?
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Costello!
Oh, why, it's the little Abbott boy, and the Niles boy with him.
We came over to stay with Louie tonight.
Aha, Kenny Niles' teacher's pet. Is your father riding a bird tonight, Kenny?
Kenny's father, riding a bird. Now, whatever gave you that idea?
I heard his mother say he was on a bat last night.
Shame on you, Louis. Santa Claus won't leave you any presents.
Oh, button up your lip, Buddy Abbott. The braces on your teeth are showing.
All right, now you children stop arguing and jump on into bed. And I don't want to hear another word out of any of you until the morning.
Hey, Buddy, you having a Christmas tree this year?
No, we put a green suit on my father and stuck some lights on him.
Well, that's just as good. He's lit up anyway.
Gee, fellas, you hear those sleigh bells? They're not the Santa Claus.
Listen, someone's coming down the chimney.
Hello, boys!
Gosh, it's Santa Claus, all right.
Wait till I get out of this fireplace. Ooh, who built that fire in there?
I did. I was trying out something new. A sitting hot foot.
You better be careful, young fella, or you won't get anything for Christmas.
Say, if you're really Santa Claus, where's the rest of your whiskers? They look like they were chewed off.
Oh, so they are. I thought my shredded wheat tasted a little funny this morning.
Gee, I hope you brought me some nice presents.
Only the boys who aren't listed in my big black book get presents. Louis Costello. Here's a report I got from your teacher.
Do you have to read it now?
It says here that you painted all the blackboards red, you chopped off the legs of the chairs, you put a goat in the cloakroom, you filled the inkwells with glue, and you put frogs in the lunch boxes. What do you have to say to that?
None of us is perfect.
Young man, you sound like a tough little kid. Do you run around with a gang?
Yeah, he does run around with the gang, Santa.
You snitcher. I'm the head guy on my block.
You look like a blockhead. I'm a jolly fellow.
All right, don't knock yourself out. Are you sure you came down the chimney?
Certainly. Why do you ask?
I thought maybe you came down the drain pipe. You're such a drip.
Don't pay any attention to him, Santa. Louis Costello always acts that way.
Yeah, and he was fighting with me yesterday after school.
What? Abbott and Costello fighting?
It wasn't so bad. I just accidentally hit him with a brick. Then he slugged me with a baseball bat. So I picked up a piece of pipe and knocked him down about 12 times. That's when we got mad and started to fight.
And not only that, Santa Claus, but last week Louis was kept in after school.
Why were you kept in after school, Louis?
I didn't know where the Aleutians were.
You didn't, huh? Well, next time remember where you put things. Now, Buddy Abbott, what do you want for Christmas?
I want a chemistry set.
That's a wonderful choice. I like chemistry too. There's something about pouring things in glasses that always gets me.
Pouring stuff in glasses gets a lot of people.
Well, here you are, Buddy Abbott, for being such a good boy. Here's a nice chemistry set.
Thanks, Santa.
And Kenny Niles, because you were teacher's pet, here's a nice doll.
Does it say Mommy and Daddy?
Now you two boys run along to bed.
Thank you,
Santa Claus. Good night.
Now, Louis Costello, let's see what else is in my black book. I see that even several years ago, you were flirting with a little girl in school. Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Did you give her your class pin?
What class pin? I was only 3 years old. I gave her the only pin I had.
Let's let the whole thing drop.
That's what happened.
Well, that settles it, Louis. I'm afraid there's nothing I can leave you for Christmas. Maybe when you learn to behave yourself, I may come again. Good night, Louis.
Wait a minute, Santa Claus. There must be something I deserve.
There is, but how can I hang a kick in the pants on a tree?
I'm a bad boy. Nobody likes me anymore. Santa Claus is giving me a brush off. Buddy Abbott is getting all the presents. I'm gonna write a note and run away from home. Dear Mom and Dad, when you read this, I'll be 1,000 miles away. Do not try to find me because I'm not gonna come back. Maybe someday when I'm old, about 15 or 16, and after I make $1 million, you'll be sorry you were so mean to me. Please don't forget to feed my rabbit twice a week. The can of food is behind my roller skates in the closet. Your loving son, Louis Costello. P.S. Don't forget to let my turtles swim in the bathtub on Saturday nights.
Yes, Matilda. Don't make any noise. We'll put the presents around the tree. What?
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Oh, come on, Costello, wake up.
Gee, everybody came after all.
Sure, bud. I'm Santa Claus.
And you brought your horse with you.
Hey, what horse? It's me!
Oh, pardon me, Mrs. Niles.
Uncle Louie was sleeping.
And boy, did I have the most horrible dream. I was dreaming of a slight Christmas. I thought my friends had passed me by.
Costello,
that you're one fellow that we all think is aces high.
You are loved by both the kids
Matilda.
I'm only 3.5 years old.
And may all your Christmases
Help him, Mrs. Niles.
All right, everybody, let's all join in and sing one of the most beautiful songs of the year. Ready?
On the show, and the Grand Rapids players join in wishing all of you
Merry Christmas! And may God bless us, everyone!
This brings us to the end of our show tonight. An Evening of Old Time Radio was written by Rachel Randall, and the 4 radio sketches performed were made available to you tonight by Junior. Costello, Who's on First, and Christmas Party was directed by Josh Cagle. Lone Ranger, The Return of Butch Cavendish was directed by Rachel Randall. And Murder Clinic, Scrap of Lace was brought to you by Sam Grigsby. Our vocal cast tonight consists of Michael Davis, John Peterson, Renee Tront, Kendra Miller, Barry Peterson, Mariana Peterson, Jeremy Anderson, Lucas Berard, Asher Grigsby, Kelsey Christians, Hannah Anderson, Jake Rick, Josh Cagle, Noah Cagle, Jackie Benham, Holly Seeley, and Sharon Marty Rasmussen. On keyboards, we have Ross Larson and Patrick Sabinski. Vocals by Jim Cagle. Sound effects were provided by Rachel Randall and Barry Peterson. We hope that you enjoyed our production of Old Time Radio and wish you a very Merry Christmas. This is Patricia Bunis signing off.